Hey everybody, it's Joe from greenlightsound.com. Every once in a while, I kind of want to highlight new developers, check out new plugins, not coming from big manufacturers, just to see what's new on the scene. And I've got a couple of those today from a new plugin company called Black Salt Audio. And the very first one is one of the simplest plugins to use, but sounds fantastic. Basically a one knob plugin called Escalator, a one knob saturation and distortion plugin that sounds great on a lot of sources, as we'll hear in just a moment. Control-wise, you got a really simple control. One slider here for the amount, and then an output right here. That's it. So the amount of saturation / distortion you want, and then control that output. If I jump over to the manual really quickly, you can see that that one knob actually has a lot going on behind the scenes. In the lower range of the knob, it's kind of a parallel mix of saturation with the dry signal. So you're still hearing the transients of the dry signal, but you're getting that saturation, adding the fatness and fullness to the audio. As you push it farther and farther up the range of the knob's travel, you get more clipping, more saturation, you get a reduction in the transients and a real kind of crushing of the dynamic range of the signal. And then if you push it up and you're 100%, you're blown out, full out distortion, not in parallel anymore. So let's get right to hearing what this thing sounds like. Let's hear it on a kick drum. So I'm going to bypass the plugin, even though the slider's not up, just to make sure we're not getting any effect of anything going on, and listen to a kick drum part. I'm going to gauge the plugin. I'm going to push this slider up as it plays. So you can hear through the range of the controls from subtle saturation to all-out distortion. If you just want subtle fattening, stick to the low range, pull the output back a little bit, and we go from this to this. Actually, I need to push that output up a little bit more. Next, let's hear it on snare drum. Bypassed. And engaged. And one of the cool things you're actually doing here, it sounds like an increase in volume, and you are getting that, but because you're chopping off the transients, you're really reducing that dynamic range and not clipping your meters. If you look at the snare sub meter right down here, if I bypass the plugin, you can really see how peaky it is. And with the plugin engaged, those peaks get chopped off more. And if I really push the distortion, we're not peaking nearly as high, but we're getting a lot more volume from that apparent loudness, that RMS level being brought up. Now let's check it out on a bass part. That's really nice, and you can get that upper mid-range nose, and if I really push it, if you do that 100%, just copy the bass track, blend that into taste, you've got some really easy parallel distortion on a bass part. Really nice. Now I've got a rhythm guitar part here. I'm going to bypass the plug, and I already set it to the percent I like, and this is really just like a thickening for rhythm guitar. Listen to it by itself without any processing. And engaged. I'll bypass on and off. And it's just a really nice thickening without adding much gain at all if you're looking at the meters. How about a string part for some thickening? Bypass. It does settle really nicely even on things you don't want obvious distortion on. And finally, let's check it out on a piano part. and it really does that thickening nicely. So I've used some other one knob plugins before, but they often feel like they have limitations, don't sound great. But with what's going on behind the scenes in this one's really versatile. So highly recommended Escalator from Black Salt Audio. If you have any questions or comments, let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already, so we can keep you in the loop as to what's coming up next, and I'll see you in the next one.